Father Gettelfinger, even more aged than Sister Marie-Therese, asked each student in my class. I was the only one to respond, single. Popular culture tells us that, even in our postmodern age, being single is party time, see my poster, for people in their teens and 20s. After that, single is a way station until marriage, or between marriages, or a dumping ground designation for those unable to attract a mate, or those who are too picky, or those who are so sexually repressed, or ravenous, or selfish, that they can't submit to the civilizing bonds of conventional marriage, which, pace Freud, is the most healthy option and the most selfless path an individual may follow. Or such was the myth. Until now. We are in the midst of a demographic revolution whose long-term implications may be as significant as the 20th century's mass migration from the countryside to the city. I speak of the astonishing numbers of people worldwide who are choosing to live alone, or who deliberately carve out periods of solitude from otherwise conventionally coupled lives. The evidence is accumulating that when people, especially women, are presented with the opportunity and the means to live alone, many will sacrifice to seize it. That the number of solitaries is growing worldwide is without question, but we have made little acknowledgment and accommodation of that fact. Our housing, health care, and urban planning, everything from restaurant design to discount gym memberships to the gargantuan loaves of bread our bakeries turn out, is still based on the ideal of the coupled household, preferably with 2 children. Of greatest consequence, the stories we tell ourselves embody fantasies of idealized couples and families, even if in unconventional configurations, instead of the rich and rewarding solitary journeys more and more of us are living out. Some see in this development a sign of social breakdown. I look at this demographic transformation and see not the crumbling of the cornerstone of society, but the potential for more diverse and loving relationships to one another and to our planet. With 7.5 billion plus people on the earth, surely solitaries, especially those who are childless or who adopt, offer alternative stories worth our attention and support. In my case, early in my 20s, I realized that with many nieces and nephews already born and more likely to arrive, the planet had no shortage of my particular genetic material. In a world groaning under the weight of too many people, I would undertake the second most selfless act I could imagine. I would remain childless. I would do my best to serve others as a teacher and writer. Perhaps some deep wisdom is manifesting itself in these millions of people seeking, or at least experiencing, solitude. Perhaps solitaries are evidence of an aspect of the human character only now permitted to blossom. If one subscribes to the Western conception of progress, that it is possible to study our past, to learn from it, and apply those lessons to build a better future, maybe studying the works and lives of our solitaries is key to reconceiving our understanding of the human family. And so I find myself well along in life and living alone, a state of affairs I have come to embrace as the way things ought to be. I have dated many men and a few women in my life, and count myself lucky to have met and come to know almost every one of them. I have had many enduring friendships, and at least one, arguably 2 great loves, and though one of those loves had the misfortune to die young, that does not for a moment undercut our great good fortune in having found each other, a stroke of luck he marveled at almost daily in the course of teaching me a lesson about the present tense nature of love that I learned in the hardest way possible, a love that gave me and the world a book. The men and women of my intimate past with whom I've stayed in touch, I try to stay present to my past, have in most cases found partners who are, I joke, so clearly better suited to them that they reinforce my sense that I was meant to be alone, meant to be a monadnock, a solitary mountain. One could argue, of course, that marriages are not found but made, and that had I stuck by someone, or someone had stuck by me, we might have one of those relationships that, at least from the outside, appears ordained.